Are you bad at video games? Do you choose the easiest option? Are you the worst thing when it comes to gaming? A noob. I play an excessive amount of video games, but I never feel like I'm that good. I'm probably better at video games than my parents, but I've always thought of myself as slightly worse than the average gamer. Early in my gamer life, I played World of Warcraft almost exclusively. Might have something to do with the fact that my PC was only good enough to run World of Warcraft on the lowest graphics settings, that is. Then I got a better PC and I started to add other games to my roster, namely Assassin's Creed. And in Assassin's Creed, I always felt like I solved the more difficult puzzles not the way you're supposed to. In World of Warcraft, I would always feel like I was the one holding a group of the raid back. Like my skill was subpar. I would never top the DPS meters. Often people would target me, tell me that I wasn't pulling my weight. I would try and do the right stuff, pick the right gear, try and click the right button at the right time, but I don't know if I ever got near the top of the DPS meter, and I never played tank or healer. Another game I've played a lot is Overwatch. And in Overwatch I circled around silver or gold in competitive. Highest I got was plat, lowest I got was bronze, pretty mid. Lately I've been playing a lot of older video games. Well, games that came out before 2023. Games that I've wanted to try when they came out, but I didn't end up buying them for some reason. Either because they weren't available on my platform, or because I was playing other video games at the time and I simply forgot. In these video games I've always chosen to play them on the easy setting, or even story for those who offer that option. And that has kind of manifested a belief in me that I'm not really good at video games. My reasoning for choosing the easy option in a lot of games that I play is this video game might not have the most up-to-date combat system, so why bother with it? And to be honest, for older games, save yourself the frustration and pick the easy setting, unless you know the game by heart, or you know for a fact that it doesn't have a poorly aged combat system. Nobody's gonna judge you. You're not proving anything, you're just making yourself frustrated for no reason. But I would choose the easy settings on newer titles as well, like Baldurs Gate 3 for example. For Baldurs Gate 3 specifically, there is so much to learn. Stats, talents, feats, gear, and I wasn't going to let a bad stat choice or picking the wrong talent stop my progression. So I picked easy and had a hell of a time. And I even feel like Baldur's Gate isn't completely trivial on easy. If you make a bad decision in combat, you'll be punished for it. So there's no way I would ever play a FromSoft game. And that was the case for a very long time. I thought those games were out of reach for me. For a player of my caliber, I would tell people that would recommend Elden Ring to me that I don't have the patience for those sort of games. And I based it on the fact that I get very frustrated in games if I struggle with something, to the point that I get quite ridiculous when I lose over and over again, giving the enemies silly names and even sillier voices. If you ever played Shadow of Mordor and listened to how the orcs taunt you when they kill you over and over again, you have an idea of how silly I get when I struggle. But lately, as I've said, I've been playing a lot of different games, buying them on Steam when they're on sale. One day, Elden Ring was on sale, and I bought it. Can a gamer such as me, who always chooses the easy option, beat Elden Ring? A FromSoft game. The hardest games in gaming. Yes. The first few hours were very nervous. It felt like I had stepped into somebody else's world. Like I was at a friend's house and they had a lot of breakable stuff that I had to navigate my way around. But after I defeated Godric, with summons mind you, things ran a little bit more smoother. I felt more at home, I felt more comfortable. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that the creepy guy with way too many arms was gone. And I did beat a few bosses on the first try. I've started a new character and I've beaten Margit, Godric, Renala and Radahn on him. 2 tries on Margit, 1 try on Godric, 2 tries on Renala because I got overconfident and messed up, and a few tries on Radahn. And I feel like I'm dying less on this character. At the same time I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm playing it on story. I started on story, I felt like it was a little bit too easy, so I turned it up to easy. I've beaten Elden Ring for Godwin's sake, but I don't know, maybe I'm not gelling with Horizon, because one of the missions made me turn the difficulty back down to story. The game is a little bit janky, 2 clicks on the same button you move with and you roll, which has made me jump off climbing puzzles a few too many times. The grapple, the paraglider and the jump share a button, which is extremely frustrating to the point that I went into settings to change it and saw jump/grapple. So if you change one, you change both. So maybe you're not a bad gamer for picking easy. Maybe games just aren't good at giving you the tools you need to have a less frustrating experience on higher difficulties. And maybe some games, Horizon, just have very bad controls, Horizon. And one more thing, Horizon. What's the deal with hunting grounds? You're killing machines throughout the whole game. Why do you need a separate thing where your goal is to kill machines? It's fluff. It's not adding anything. Just another icon on an already overpopulated map. I want to compare Elden Ring and Horizon. One of the first camps you get to in Elden Ring, in Limgrave, just outside the Gatefront Graze. The camp is filled with soldiers that you can, even with the first weapon you get, kill with 1 or 2 hits. Even without upgrading the weapon. There are plenty of sneak options. There are 2 different soldiers, one fully armoured with a shield that is more difficult to kill, and one that has a horn that he can blow to bring the whole camp down on you, if you're not careful. The soldier with a horn is slightly more tanky than the average soldier. Now let's visit a camp in Horizon. Usually there are 2 or 3 more difficult enemies. There are a few machines that alert the whole camp, and all the machines have some sort of stun. They jump at you, they can electrocute you. I've way too often gotten stun locked in Horizon. One machine jumps at you, then another right after, and then another right after that, and you're dead, and there is nothing you can do. And that is just frustrating. In Elden Ring, your deaths are usually your own fault. In Horizon, it sometimes feels like you've just had bad luck. The machines have these weak spots, and on higher difficulties, you have to shoot these weak spots over and over and over again for something to happen. So maybe you're not a bad gamer, maybe some games just have combat systems that just aren't fun. And what is the point of gaming? To have fun, to relax, to unwind. Horizon is a good game, it's a fun world to be in, it just has some very clear flaws. So rather than struggling with those flaws, choose the easiest option so that you don't have to. So what did we learn today? Problems are not supposed to be dealt with.